Hello everyone, this is Maurício1 and these are my predictions for UFC 134 or UFC Rio. This is a big night for the UFC. It's the first night they've been in Rio since the Fertittas have bought the UFC, so this is a big deal. Most of the UFC fighters are very excited about it, especially the Brazilians of course, but this is essentially the birthplace of MMA. There's a title fight on the card, which always makes a card better, so we should have a nice night of fights, hopefully. So let's get started with the predictions. The first fight of the evening is Stanislav Nedkov versus Luiz Arthur Kane. Stanislav Nedkov is a formidable opponent for Luiz Arthur Kane. He used to fight in Sengoku. He's a great fighter, great wrestler, great jiu-jitsu. So he's going to be a very big challenge for Luiz Arthur Kane. With that being said, Luiz Arthur Kane is a veteran in the sport. He's been fighting for a very long time. So he's going to definitely bring it in this fight. He beat Elian Marshall in the first round via TKO, and I can see this fight ending the same way. However, I'm not going to predict the TKO, but I do believe Luiz Arthur Kane is going to edge out a decision. Luiz Arthur Kane needs this win to keep rolling in the UFC. He ran to a rough patch. Now he's back. I think he's going to be better than ever, and I think this is going to be one of his marquee victories. So all in all, Luiz Kane by decision. The second fight of the evening is Ross Pearson versus Edson Barboza. Ross Pearson's takedown defense, while not the greatest, is a lot better than people give him credit for. With that being said, I don't think he's going to be able to stop Edson Barboza's takedowns, but I don't even think it's going to be that many takedown attempts. I think Edson Barboza's Muay Thai will frustrate Ross Pearson enough where he's going to try some things and then he's going to get caught. If you saw Edson Barboza's recent fights, he's very impressive with his striking, and I think he's going to knock out Ross Pearson in the second round. The third fight of the evening is Brandon Schaub versus Antônio Rodrigo Nogueira. A lot of people don't like Brandon Schaub because he's very cocky, he's very confident, and he beats a lot of legends. If you saw his fight against Krokop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Antônio Rodrigo Nogueira, while he is a legend in the sport, is fighting on borrowed time. He doesn't have that much time left, and he wants to put on a show. I believe he was waiting specifically for the UFC to come to Brazil for him to have his retirement match, so to speak. Brandon Schaub is a finisher, so I'm going to predict a first-round knockout for Brandon Schaub. Brandon Schaub has the strength, the speed, the stamina, and the agility to really be a force in the heavyweight division. I can see Brandon Schaub being in the title eliminator after this fight, if he wins. Maybe against a returning Brock Lesnar, who knows. So overall, Brandon Schaub by first-round knockout. The co-main event of the evening, as everyone knows, is the rematch between Shogun Rua and Forrest Griffin. If you watch the first fight, you know what to expect. These two guys love to fight, they love to bang, and they love to put on a exciting fight for the crowd. Forrest Griffin does not get booed that often, so the fact that he's going to probably be in hostile territory is going to be very interesting. So it's going to be interesting how he plays off the crowd. I'm going to pick Forrest Griffin by decision. It's going to be a classic war, but I think Forrest Griffin is a lot hotter coming into this fight. I'm not sure how Shogun's going to react to after losing to John Jones in the fashion he did. And is he 100% healthy? There's still questions that we have on those. Forrest Griffin has been a lot more consistent recently, so I'm going to go with Forrest Griffin by decision. And the main event of the evening is Anderson Silva versus Yushin Okami. I don't give Yushin Okami much of a chance in this fight. He's a good wrestler, but he doesn't have a killer instinct. The thing about fighting Anderson Silva is that if you're not trying to finish him, he's too dangerous to try to win a decision off of. We saw that with Chael Sonnen. We saw that with Travis Lutter. We saw that with Dan Henderson. You're not going to outpoint Anderson Silva long enough to win the fight because he's just that good. If Yushin Okami's intention is to put him on the ground and try to put him on his back and lay on him for 5 rounds, he's going to get tapped out. And that's exactly what I'm predicting. I'm predicting a 3rd round submission for Anderson Silva over Yushin Okami. And those are my predictions for UFC 134 or UFC Rio, whatever you like to call it. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right up there. Also hit that like button right over there. And favorite the video. And leave a comment below. With that being said, I'm Maurício1, and those are my predictions for UFC 134. Have a great night. Deuces.